Here's how I make simple, delicious pancakes. Mix flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and salt together. Create a hole in the middle, then add 1 egg and whisk in a cup of milk. Mix until incorporated, then transfer to a glass measuring cup. Add a tablespoon of oil to a pan over low-medium heat. Allow to get hot, then add pancake batter. Cook 90 seconds, flip, then 30 more seconds. Repeat this process until all pancakes are done. You should be able to make 6 medium to large pancakes with this recipe. They're perfectly sweet and fluffy. Best lasagna you'll ever eat. Brown sweet Italian sausage and ground chuck. Add 1 diced onion early on. Strain the fat once the meat is brown. Boil the noodles. Add 6 cloves of minced garlic to the meat and cook 5 more minutes. Add crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato sauce, water, sugar, dried basil, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and fresh chopped parsley. Stir, cover, and simmer for an hour and a half. Combine ricotta cheese with an egg, Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, and parsley, and set aside. Time to assemble the lasagna. It goes sauce, noodles, sauce, all of the ricotta mixture, sliced mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese. Then noodles, sauce, sliced mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, noodles, sauce, the rest of the sliced mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, Parmesan cheese. Bake uncovered for an hour at 375. It is so good. Here's how to make Philly Sloppy Joes. Press 2 pounds ground chuck into a nonstick pan over medium heat. Allow a crust to form for several minutes, then break the meat up. Continue to brown the meat, then strain the fat and set aside. Melt 4 tablespoons of butter in the same pan and cook a diced onion, a diced red bell pepper, and a diced yellow bell pepper and 1 tablespoon of minced garlic for 15 minutes. Add the meat back to the pan and add Worcestershire. Whisk cornstarch into a can of beef broth, then add to the meat mixture. Salt, pepper, then off the heat, add 8 ounces of sliced provolone cheese. Mix, then add ketchup and sriracha and mix again. Toast brioche buns in butter and create your own sandwich with extra slice of provolone cheese. It's meaty, cheesy goodness. Here's an easy sweet and savory chicken dish that comes together quickly. Trim, halve, and pound 5 chicken breasts to a 1/2 inch thick. In a bowl, mix brown sugar, garlic, cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, and water, then set aside. Season chicken with salt and pepper and equally distribute brown sugar mixture on each piece. Wrap the chicken in 1 or 2 strips of bacon and bake in 2 9x13 dish or pans or a large roasting pan for 40 minutes at 375. Broil for 1 minute at the end for crispness, then serve. This orange chicken is better than Panda Express, which isn't saying much to some, but it's super good. Here's how to make it. Mix cornstarch, rice vinegar, juice from an orange, sesame oil, low sodium soy sauce, sugar, white vinegar, and the zest of half an orange to a bowl, then set aside. Cut 4 pounds of chicken thigh meat in bite-sized pieces. Season well with salt and pepper, then place in the wet coating that consists of 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of oil, then the dry coating, which is a cup of cornstarch and a 1/2 cup of flour. Fry in 3 or 4 batches in hot oil over medium-high heat for about 5 minutes until each piece is golden brown and cooked through. Stir constantly. Remove chicken and any oil, then add the sauce to the wok and bring to a boil. Stir in garlic powder and red pepper flakes. Sorry, my camera got fuzzy from the heat. Mix chicken in the sauce, top with chives, and serve over white rice. You're gonna love this dish. Yeah, you know this looks good. It's called Bang Bang Shrimp, and it's worth all the hype. Let's cook. Add cornstarch and buttermilk to separate bowls. Then in another bowl, make the sauce, which is mayonnaise, Thai sweet chili sauce, sriracha, and rice vinegar. Mix, then set aside. Put 2 pounds of raw shelled and deveined shrimp, I'm using medium size, in the buttermilk. Dredge batches of the shrimp and cornstarch while your oil heats to 350 degrees. This is a very messy job, but totally worth it. Cook shrimp in batches for 3 to 4 minutes until lightly golden brown. Place cooked batches on paper towels. While you cook the shrimp, add the sauce to a pan over low-medium heat. You're just wanting to get it warm. Once all the shrimp is cooked, toss it in the sauce and then top with green onions. It's sinful. Here's a one-pot meal ready in 20 minutes. It's called Creamy Italian Tomato Soup with Tortellini. Break up 1 pound sweet Italian sausage and cook over medium heat. Add 1 diced onion, cook for 10 minutes until caramelized, then strain the fat. Add 4 cloves, minced garlic, cook 2 more minutes, then add crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, sugar, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, chicken broth, frozen spinach, cream cheese, and sherry cooking wine. Bring to a boil, break up the cream cheese, then add 36 ounces of frozen tortellini and cook for 5 to 7 minutes with the lid off. Ladle into bowls and top with shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm going to completely change your mind on how you feel about blue cheese dressing. Listen to me, I'm on your side. Blue cheese is disgusting. It's mold, okay. But this blue cheese dressing will bring world peace. Just start with a mild blue cheese. Remember, less blue is more mild. Then add garlic, mayonnaise, buttermilk, red wine vinegar, sour cream, sugar, oil, and pepper to a food processor and process on high until well combined. I like to store my dressing in a ball jar and then top it on everything. It's so good. If you aren't doing this one thing to your sandwich, you are missing out. Well, I'm dieting, so I'm making croissant French toast for my kids. Start by having the croissants. The older the croissant, the better. Then mix your custard, which is 2 large eggs, a cup of milk, a half a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Whisk well, then dredge croissants on both sides, shaking off the excess. Butter a preheated skillet and cook the croissants over low-medium heat, flipping once golden brown. I like to top with powdered sugar and warm syrup. It is torture making this and not eating it. Hopefully you can enjoy. It's good. Now those are perfect green beans. Boil 2 inches of water. Add the beans and cover. Cook for 7 minutes. Strain the beans. Melt the butter. Add those strained beans to the butter. You want to cook this for 20 minutes on low. See this? You want some of your beans to break down and have some caramelization like this. You want all your beans to break down and wilt a little bit. Then they melt in your mouth and they don't taste so much like veggies. Cook them well. Now those are perfect green beans. I am going to change your life with this homemade ice cream cake. It's literally better than Dairy Queen and so much cheaper. It starts with 24 ice cream sandwiches. Do 8 on the bottom layer, then cookies and cream ice cream, hot fudge, more ice cream sandwiches, the rest of the cookies and cream, the rest of the hot fudge, more ice cream sandwiches, a layer of Cool Whip, and crushed up Oreos. Put it in the freezer for 4 hours, but before that, top with hard shell chocolate. You will not believe how good this is. Everyone will be obsessed. Three cheese, spinach, and artichoke dip. And the best part, it's made in a crock pot. Throw cream cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise, Parmesan cheese, artichoke, spinach, red pepper flakes, garlic powder, salt, and sliced mozzarella in a crock pot on low for 2 hours. Boom, mix and serve. For more great food like this, follow my cooking posse, the Food Renegades. You've seen me make better than Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo. Now let's do their breadsticks. Add warm water, sugar, and active dry yeast to a stand mixer and proof for 5 minutes. Then add salt and melted butter. Using the dough hook, mix while adding 4 1/4 cups all-purpose flour. Stop the mixer once the ball forms, flour your surface, remove the dough, and knead for 5 minutes. The all-purpose flour creates a more dense breadstick. Use bread flour if you want them lighter. Roll dough out and cut into 12 even pieces. Form each piece into a breadstick, then allow to rise for 45 minutes under a warm towel. Bake for 15 minutes at 400, flip and cook 5 more minutes. While the breadsticks bake, make your garlic butter. Melt a half a stick of butter and add garlic powder and salt. Brush garlic butter over warm breadsticks and serve. Keep watching. This is a cheesy shredded chicken burrito, and you'll never go out for Mexican again. Here's another shot of the inside. Oh, it's so good. Let's cook. Dice and cook a purple onion over low-medium heat in 2 tablespoons of oil for 10 minutes, then add garlic, green chilies, and strained petite diced tomatoes. Mix and cook for 15 minutes, then add garlic powder, cumin, taco seasoning, salt, pepper, better than bouillon chicken flavor, and 2 tablespoons of chipotles and adobo sauce that have been pulverized in a food processor. Mix, then add a 12-ounce bag of thawed frozen corn and 1 shredded rotisserie chicken. Cook for 5 more minutes, then add a half a cup of the filling and half a cup of Monterey Jack cheese to burrito tortillas. Add burritos to a 9x13 dish and cover with foil. Bake at 350 for 15 minutes. Top with sour cream and ancho chili powder. They are gooey and packed with flavor. Is there anything better than warm coffee cake? No, there's not. Start by mixing that cinnamon layer in the middle. It's just brown sugar, flour, and cinnamon. Set aside and move on to the cake. Add room temperature butter, sugar, and brown sugar to a stand mixer and cream together for 2 minutes. Then add eggs, vanilla, sour cream, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. Then alternate adding flour and buttermilk. Scrape the bowl down when necessary. Spray down a 9x13 dish and add half the cake batter, then all of the cinnamon mixture, then the rest of the cake batter. Time to make the streusel topping. Mix brown sugar, flour, cinnamon, and melted butter in a bowl, then pile on top of the cake. Bake at 350 for 1 hour and 15 minutes and let cool for an hour. It is everything you want in a coffee cake and more. Moist, sweet, dense, texture, all the things. Name something more satisfying than crunchy, juicy fried chicken. You can't. Start with 2 bowls. Add flour, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, poultry seasoning, salt, and pepper to one and mix. Then add flour, salt and pepper, 2 eggs, and water to the other and mix. Then dip your chicken in the wet bowl. Let the excess liquid drip off, then coat well in the dry bowl. Cook in batches. I'm using peanut oil that's been preheated to 350 degrees to cook the chicken in. Cook for 8 minutes, flip and cook 8 minutes more. White meat will cook in this time, but you may need to keep dark pieces in longer. Drain the chicken on paper bags or paper towels, season with salt, and enjoy one of America's favorite foods. You won't believe it, but these wings were baked and then tossed in my own teriyaki sauce. Start by cutting the tips off and separating 2 pounds of wings. Toss them in 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then line them up on a large baking sheet that's been lined with parchment paper. I am not sure why I used foil. You don't need it. Bake on 425 convection for 40 minutes. Remove the skinny wings and add the thick ones back in for 10 minutes. Make the sauce. Where's my camera going? Toss the wings in the sauce and eat. They're so good. Guys, these are so good that I made them a second night in a row. You absolutely must try them.